Finally, a privately owned rocket has blasted off from the U.S. state of Florida.
And liftoff. Liftoff of the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket.
The unmanned craft is on the first of a dozen missions to supply the International Space Station. It's carrying 450 kilograms of material for scientific experiments. Remember, NASA retired its fleet of space shuttles, so it now relies on private businesses, private rockets, to restock the International Space Station.
But this time, the SpaceX capsule is on its way to the International Space Station with precious cargo on board. The privately owned unmanned spacecraft lifted off from Cape Canaveral, Florida, Sunday without a hitch. It is going to deliver supplies to the ISS. Some ice cream, according to our meteorologist Ivan Cabrera, going up as well. SpaceX has signed up with NASA to fly a total of 12 cargo missions. They're off to a good start.
700 meters.
The move has come about partly because of drastic cuts to NASA's space program. The mission follows this test run back in May. This was the first time a privately owned craft docked at the International Space Station.
Houston Station, looks like we got us a dragon by the tail.
NASA eventually wants to put astronaut transport in the hands of the private sector too. But for now, this is another step towards commercializing the space industry, and that will partly depend on the success of this mission.
The Dragon capsule is now heading towards the International Space Station, but NASA's no longer alone in space. Countries like China and India are racing to catch up. With commercial partners like SpaceX, NASA is now free to focus on its new mission, reaching to Mars.
What I call a historical event in the annals of spaceflight. The SpaceX launch tonight marks the official start of commercial resupply missions by American companies operating out of U.S. spaceports like the one right here in Florida.
Bolden said NASA officials need to spend their limited funds carefully. He said Americans need to nurture the next generation to keep their leadership in development of space.